You're listening to a Zaboys Media podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Make It Make Sense, a Zaboys Media podcast. I'm Positive C.
And I'm James Thorny Thornquist.
Yes, me and the Brain Box are taking you on a magical tour through a whole bunch of plans, whether they be fact, fiction, sometimes our own personal lives. I've even tried to toy around with doing maybe some war plans and, maybe delving into some history. Ooh, is the Trojan horse going to make an appearance? Maybe, I don't know.
Trojan horse.
Yeah, the Trojan man. Yeah, can we actually, are we suited, is Make It Make Sense suited to break down, or do you think me and you could break down some historical event and see if that plan actually made sense?
It's worth a try. Well, wouldn't be the worst plan we've talked about, right?
Yeah, we could actually even make the plan of making those plans make sense probably. Right now, we're going to go today with a less ancient plan, maybe ancient to some people because it's the year of our Lord 2026. And the movie we're going to talk about today is a 1999 comedic masterpiece by the name of Big Daddy. I kind of left a pause there because I really liked the drum roll you had in the last episode, but I'm not sure if that pause was long enough. We'll see. We'll do it in post. We'll fix it in post. But yes, we're talking about the 1999 movie Big Daddy, an Adam Sandler mid-classic. Yeah, it's a mid-classic, I think you call Big Daddy. It's not necessarily one of the ones you first think of when you think of Adam Sandler's early career. You think mainly, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore. Those are the two.
Yeah, those are the two I think we were all first introduced to.
Yeah, exactly. Or Airheads, the greatness of Airheads. He was in Airheads.
People
Brendan Wiss.
Yeah, with Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser makes another appearance on Make It Make Sense.
That's sort of bingo game for the listeners. Anytime Brendan Fraser's, that's a stamp,
That's a stamp mark. The Brendan bingo.
Yeah. But I would say you start with Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. Then I think you start thinking of probably Big Daddy comes after that. Like you said, I think that's a change. It's a start. It starts to pivot his style.
And I can't even remember when Little Nicky came out. That was kind of around the same time too. So there was definitely some change. I even forgot about Little Nicky until just about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah. I want to say Little Nicky probably came after Big Daddy and after Mr. Deeds.
Popeye's chicken is the shiznit. Popeye's chicken is awesome. But we're not going to talk about the devilish plans of Little Nicky or the immature schoolyard plans of Billy Madison, or even the great sports plan of Happy Gilmore, which we could attack Happy Gilmore one day to see if that actually, if that plan makes sense to get on the PGA Tour. Yeah. But we're going to do Big Daddy, and I think it's actually really prevalent we do Big Daddy as we're recording this at 9:42 p.m. on a night when normally we do it a little bit earlier, but I had some Big Daddy responsibilities as somebody with kids. Yeah, I had to, rock the kid to sleep, and still I think he's asleep. We'll find out if we hear a pitter patter behind me. But yeah, so Big Daddy involves, and we don't have to actually go over the whole plot of Big Daddy because most of the plan happens at the beginning, mid part of the movie. And then the rest of it is what happens to him while this is going on. But he constructs.
Let's just go with constructs and make this safe.
I don't think he's going to be cucking at all. Concocts. He concocts the plan.
Yeah, I feel like we still might have to beep that part out.
Wholly different. Yeah, that's a wholly different category. But concocts the plan fairly early on. So his name, Adam Sandler.
15 minutes or so.
Well, yeah, around there. I think it comes into play whenever he comes back into contact with his ex, like right before he comes in. Well, the person who ends up being the ex. So let's start from the beginning. Sonny Koufax is Adam Sandler. Yeah. He is he's a great, like, you can tell Adam Sandler had a little bit to do with probably the writing of this, because of course the main character is a guy who, flunked out or didn't, was a really good, student at a law school, but, didn't take his LSAT or whatever. Yeah, didn't take the bar. Yeah. And so, he could be a genius, but he's just a slacker. The great Adam Sandler always loves that about his characters. But so he's living off of some settlement, some $200,000 settlement, and, just not doing anything with his life. Vanessa, his girlfriend, calls him out on this and leaves him, tells him she is going to leave him.
Yeah, unless he shows she's going away for the weekend and that he needs to think about his life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the famous scene of him going, I don't need you. No. Oh, please, baby. Or is that Big Daddy? Or
is Happy Gilmore?
That's Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, I want to kiss you all over.
Oh, yeah. Because his girlfriend, when a car accident fell off a cliff and died. That's Happy Gilmore. That's Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Yes, every Adam Sandler early movie seems to start with him getting broken up with by somebody.
Yeah. A lot of heartbreak for early Adam Sandler. But so Vanessa says she's going away for the weekend. That's right. And during this time, Jon Stewart, his roommate, is going to China. Going to China
for business.
Mm-hmm. Going to be away for a while. And it just so happens to coincide with a time that a former lover of Jon Stewart basically drops off a kid at his doorstep. Mm-hmm. And but John's not there. Jon Stewart isn't there. Only Adam Sandler's there. He's already left for China. And so Adam takes the kid in, which is part one of why the plan's bad right there. Should have immediately went to authorities, but we'll get to that. So he didn't immediately go to authorities. He kind of parades the kid around a little bit, even parades around the kid.
The first day is on accident, because the first day it is Memorial Day and the social services office is closed. So he has to take the kid for one day. But he ends up having fun with the kid. He ends up having
a good time with. Okay, let's stop down right here. If it's not your child, if it is not your child, and you have a child in your custody, you should find a way to get to the authorities, like the child social services or whatever. But go to the police.
Yeah,
go to the police. Like that should have been step one. For the rest of the plan shouldn't have happened, because step one for any responsible human being would be to go to the police. Not let's wait a day. Let's hang out.
I can watch this kid for a day, and then I'll take him to social services tomorrow.
No, just go to the police. Just go to the police, because they probably have someone to call. They probably have someone to call on Memorial Day that is like, find a kid guy. It's probably on call a little bit, So he does all that, and I believe during this time that he has the kid, is this when he sees Vanessa again, or this is a couple days after?
No, so he does talk to the social service guy and finds out that if the kid stays there, that he goes to a halfway house, or he goes to like an orphanage. So he's like, well, I'll watch the kid until you get the foster family organized. And so, no, maybe that's after.
I think from my remembrance is that before he even goes to social services, he runs into Vanessa again and is like, hey, you see, look at me, I'm responsible. And so that's where I think this breakdown of this plan happens. This is why I think the plan doesn't make sense. And this is where I think
what he does is he has really fun hanging out with the kid for that day. So he calls the social services offices, pretends to be the father, Kevin Garrity, and says,
That's right.
forget about the
Also,
foster family. So the idea is in his head that this kid's going to fix his relationship already.
Exactly, and that's the issue. That is why we don't really have to go through the rest of the movie, because this was his plan, and then he ended up like in the rest of the situation. His plan was to take this kid that's not his, use him as a prop to build back up a relationship that was already probably not good to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a way to make his plan make sense from the very get-go. And that is to, again, like we said, call the cops. But also, I think he should have called Vanessa at the very beginning.
Okay.
Okay, so
think you would have called Vanessa about? Just to talk?
That he has this kid. You know what I mean? And to walk through together the proper steps.
Well, they're obviously not in a healthy relationship.
Right. And trust me, kids aren't the thing to just bring into an unhealthy relationship.
No.
But a problem to be solved can kind of help out in relationships because it's not their kid.
Yeah.
But this could be a situation where they have to put their heads together and work out the proper thing to do. And that could show a little bit of responsibility and this and that she was looking for in him, instead of just showing up and, hey, look, I got a random kid with me. That's why his plan doesn't make sense. It's a random kid. Vanessa doesn't know who this kid is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you make a good point, actually. Yes. Them both having to experience that moment together as a couple, potentially a couple. It could have been a situation where, like, it does show her that he's ready for more, or that he's a little serious. But I think that's the problem. He hasn't gone through the growth. And that's the bad plan, is what leads to him growing as a character.
Yeah, agreed. When we first meet Sonny, maybe even with that, couple problem solving thing, he might not even be in the headspace to do the right thing. And this doesn't seem like she's that great.
No,
I mean no, it's not like she is Veronica Vaughn.
So I literally watched the movie before we recorded today, and my thought was like, what does Vanessa do that she can afford the apartment that she lives in? Because her apartment is multi-roomed, has a hallway in New York in 99. Still expensive.
Well, expensive. His apartment was crazy too, because he lives in the weirdest loft thing I've ever seen. I've never seen an apartment built like his apartment, and even in any type of fiction. His apartment reminds me of like a movie that you would like a movie set you would see in some like secret agent thing, and like all the different cubicles for computers and stuff like that. And you got to walk up these weird stairs. It's like, I've never seen that before. That's what $200,000 can get you.
Yeah, it's like it's at the upper loft of an old manufacturing building. And then within the loft, there's like 2 risen offices that they've turned into like bedrooms.
Yes.
But then it has straight roof access, and it's a lot. It's like, the multi-level function of it makes no sense.
It's like the apartment from The Room. It doesn't even seem like it's like made in reality. but yeah, so Sonny from the very get-go is not making the right decisions.
No.
So is that the way? Making it make sense? Because I think, are we in agreement that his plan to use the kid to get Vanessa back doesn't make sense? Or is that something that we can rationalize in our own head? Be like, maybe in a weird way, you could have went through the same scenario and Vanessa could have went, oh, really? Okay. Yeah. It just so happens the stance that she's with somebody else. Is that the reason why it didn't work? Maybe if she hadn't met whoever hunk that she was with or whatever, that it would have been different.
Maybe, but I feel like that timeline isn't given to us in the movie, and she's probably known the old guy for at least a month by the time that because he just crumbs out and he's like, he's like, oh man, I thought you were with my lady, and he's like, I am. And he's just so proud of that. Like, so it's like he obviously has been hitting this for at least a month.
He's been concucking.
Yeah.
He was a concucker.
Yeah. And so like I said, I think there's no way to justify that using the kid to try to rebuild your relationship.
Yeah.
Yes, it happens a lot, but does it make sense in this way? No. And so, like I said, I think that is the part that it's just a bad plan. Now, if it was just, hey, I'm going to watch the kid for the day and then take him to social services the next day, that actually makes sense. I could get behind that. You know, it's like, hey, it's a holiday. Social services is closed. I don't want to leave this kid at a police station by himself. He's 5, you know?
Right. It's
that
probably
actually
not the
good.
Do, but you can do it. Yeah,
you could. But like I said, I think in that justification, you can rationalize keeping the kid for that first day. But yeah, then pivoting to this kid's going to fix my relationship doesn't make sense.
And okay, let's push it a little further into the plot and see if the rest of his idea makes sense, which is now pretending to be the actual father, trying to just raise the kid, I guess, to maybe not even get his old relationship back, but actually he starts a new one. So I guess he's trying to build himself up through this kid, which can leave lasting damage to a child if you think about it. This stranger is just, parenting me okayly, kind of like just gives a seat in his pants. I should know a thing or two about flying by the seat in my pants when it comes to parenting. I went from 0 kids to having a 3 now a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. So it is like, you don't know what any day is going to entail with a 2 and a 5, now 3 and a 5. So he's flying by the seat of his pants with like an 8-year-old. Is he 5 or is he 8?
He's 5 in the movie. Yeah, he's
5. Yeah,
5.
My God. So I'm thinking about Violet. Violet's 5. Just a Violet showing up at my door. You know what I mean? Like a 5-year-old, just like it's hard to communicate with them anyway. Trying to communicate with a 5-year-old you've never met before. Yeah. I don't even think you could get through the first day. The first day would drive you insane because you wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. So like, I play fun uncle quite a bit to a lot of friends' kids and my actual niece and nephew. And man, like spending more than 4 hours with a kid around and you're not used to it, it's just nerve-wracking. Like I struggle with it even just being an uncle. So like I get Sandler's character's early approach to it where he's just like putting newspaper down, and just having a good time with the kid because that's the easy part. But when things get real, it gets wild. And all of a sudden you're like, this kid has been going and going and going and going, and they can't be reasoned with. And
no, can't be reasoned with, can't be bargained with.
No, exactly.
It's like terrorists. They're little terrorists sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like after about 4 hours, you're like, I need a nap. And it's rough. So I mean, I kind of get why Sandler's character did it, or thought it was fun at first. But yeah, it hits you fast. And
and every day they change and advance. They grow a little bit more. They discover new things and all this stuff. And so like you're trying to navigate that while looking out for numero uno, because that's really what he does. So I guess in the long run, through plot wise, it changes him. But I think if you're thinking about this in like a real scenario, I don't think it ends well for the kid.
No.
I think you've done irreparable damage to that child. And then here's the kicker. He's never met his real dad. You've been pretending to be his dad. And then his dad just shows up.
Yeah.
Again.
And you just
later on.
Hand him off to his dad. And
I mean,
I get it. It's John. It's John.
That's too bad.
But it's a family comedy movie to a degree. So, I mean, I get it. I get that it has to end happily. But, like, in real life, I think you do damage to that kid as well. And maybe that, because I don't think you grow as a person that quickly either, No,
not at all. It's not a long time he's with them because, I mean, the guy's not going to be gone from China forever. So, he's gone and gets back. It's not too much time. It's got to be less than 6 months. Because he doesn't even have a birthday, right? There's no birthday.
Yeah, he has no birthday in it. I mean, he enrolls the kid in school. They have a school play.
Yeah.
The timeline's all over the place. With all the montages, I think you're supposed to think that it's longer than it is. I'd say gauging it out,
You think maybe
feel
months,
like
8 months?
Huh?
You think 7 months, 8 months?
No, I don't even think it's that long. I think it's probably like a month, and just
Okay.
and just for movie purposes, they make it feel longer because, like I said, the timeline just doesn't add up.
So your month with this kid, 4 weeks. Wow. Yeah. You can't grow that much in 4 weeks. No.
Let's say maybe it's 2 months. There's probably a line somewhere in the movie that mentions how long the dad in China, but
throwaway line like that.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't remember hearing it. So
yeah, because the movie starts to me whenever they say he wasted a good surprise on you, and so that's which is one of the best lines in movies. That is great. We wasted the good surprise on you. Is so iconic.
Lines, yeah, still remember. There's still moments I'll throw that line out at places.
Mm-hmm.
And then, man, that movie had a lot of good quotes. You know, like "What's your name? He'll write it on the wall for you."
And yeah, he's also very crass and crude. Hangs out with some weird like delivery guy, and that's what Rob Schneider is. He's a delivery guy, or yeah. There's so many things about the fact he's wanting to try to raise his child and pretending he is Jon Stewart is a felony. Probably, I think that's why he's going to court. It's not. You're pretending to be someone probably to basically kidnap a kid.
Well, yeah, that's why he goes to court. Technically, exactly. What he's done is kidnapping.
Doesn't he represent himself as well?
He represents himself along with his two buddies, Jon Stewart and his girlfriend. Yeah,
Layla and Jon Stewart, and the Daily Show, Layla and Adam Sandler. They are represent, and I just was listening to another podcast talk about someone else who represented himself, Ted Bundy, and so so anything that you do that compares yourself to Ted Bundy is not good and not good to have within your plan. And Ted Bundy represented himself in the court of law. I would not represent myself in the court of law. I know a lawyer. I don't need to look up anything. I got a buddy who's a lawyer. Like no one needs to hear me practice law. Apparently, I'm not practicing law right now because I didn't pass the bar, take the bar. So there's no reason for me to get involved in that. Let my friends do it completely. Layla's a lawyer.
Yeah.
And Jon Stewart's a lawyer. What am I getting involved into? I am not Ted Bundy.
No, I think in the movie it's literally just a throwaway line when he says, "I'll be mostly representing myself," because it's like, dude, you've got 4 other lawyers who you grew up with, like 3 of them you grew up with, one of them's your girlfriend. Like, you're not representing yourself.
No.
Yeah.
I always think movie representing yourself is hilarious because it's always never goes well. It doesn't. No, it never goes.
Well, it's always them trying to do the heartfelt thing, right? Like I'm gonna sway the court through the power of love, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. I don't think that's actually something that can be done. I'm pretty sure that I don't even think you can represent you can represent yourself, but it's just not a smart
Bundy
move.
did it. Yeah. Ted Bundy did it. If you watch the footage of him like in court, you can tell that he was a bad lawyer. And there was a reason he wasn't a real lawyer. Apparently, not to get on a Bundy tangent, but he instead of not taking the bar, apparently he failed miserably, like to the point to where he couldn't get into even the LSATs to get into law school.
Oh yeah, he had pretty rough.
Well, he had such a bad score that even his psychology professor's recommendations could not get him into any big schools. So he used all of that non-knowledge in the court of law, and it showed. And so, yeah, that's the thing about representing yourself. But you don't see that in movies. In movies, you always see, a guy, if they're going to represent themselves, really like, ooh, he could have been a lawyer. This is actually not too bad. And pulls out the Chewbacca defense.
So So we've got our bad plans, or how we've kind of thrown out ideas of how we'd make them better.
Yeah.
One was just go to the police the first day.
Mm-hmm.
One was talk to your potential girlfriend and see if the two of you can head this off together.
And
I
really
think
bring each other together with that.
yeah, and I think honestly, the third best plan would have been just let Jon Stewart's character come home, like he said. Because like he's literally at the airport. He's like, "Never mind, I'll explain this to the partners. I'm coming home." And he's like, "No."
Yeah.
Episode was like, "I got this." No, just let him come home. Let him literally call his bosses and be like, "Yo, there was a kid that was just dropped off at my door. I don't know what's going on. I'll fly out in a couple days, but I need to, or you got to send somebody else."
Yeah, I got to handle the situation. No, agreed. Yeah. So, want to roll for those?
Yeah, three plans. They're all simple enough. I think we can roll for all three. Which one do you start with?
Let's go with the easiest one. Calling the cops at the beginning.
Calling the cops at the beginning. I'm gonna give this a little sound on this. Most people never get to hear the roll. Calling the cops in the beginning. 17. That's a high success rate.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anything. Yeah. What goes wrong other than the kid potentially has to sit in the jail for a couple hours to maybe a night.
And he's like never going to see it. It's not like he's going in a cell. Yeah. He's going to sit in the most comfy spot they have. You know what I mean? There's potentially they get him a hotel room. If anything, it's New York. There's a chance they go, "All right, kid, well, we'll get you into da 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 da. We'll have a guy standing outside your room. You're here at the Ritz-Carlton, kid. Whatever. You know what I mean? Home Alone style. Home Alone 2.
Or the chief. The chief calls whoever's head of social services, and they send someone down to take the kid and figure out what's going on.
The weekend find a kid guy.
Right.
There's got to be.
Yeah, there's got to be a weekend guy. All right, so that plan succeeds. Which in the real world would make sense. Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
So our second plan was call the girlfriend, Vanessa.
Yes, and work it out together.
Yeah, trying to work through this problem together. All right,
problem solving.
That's a 16. That means it also succeeds. Yep. Maybe it doesn't fix your relationship. Maybe it does for a little while.
Yeah,
but relationships.
You at least are able to sit, talk it out. Be around each other in this, and maybe you grow as a human being through it. And you're able to kind of see Vanessa in a different light. Maybe you both see your relationship in a different light.
Yeah,
it could come together, but I think she at least sees that you're not just a bad decision-making machine.
Yeah, I agree. And our last one was
call Jon Stewart. All right, Jon Stewart, come home. Yeah. You can come. I don't got this.
Yeah, Jon Stewart comes home and handles his own problems.
Right.
And we've got a 4. Apparently that doesn't work.
Jon Stewart comes back and just that. Oh my God, it's fired. It's bad. He's not a bad dad. He's not a good dad. Jon Stewart's not a good dad. Then,
Jon Stewart comes home, has no clue what to do. Lets the kid go back to the foster group. Doesn't want to be a father. Gets fired for missing his flight.
Yes.
Takes up drinking and becomes a stand-up comedian that maybe one day rebuilds his career to host a late-night talk show.
Yeah, but that first downfall is bad after he gets home. Oh yeah, because he actually finds out the woman died too. That's the other thing. The mom is dead, so that could devastate him. He could become, and like you said, an alcoholic mess. And now he's wondering, and all these thoughts of what could have been, what could my life been with the mother and maybe the kid. Oh no, did I make the right decision? And he goes into a downward spiral, and he becomes, and you know what happens in this scenario, because it's a 4. He doesn't build his career back up and become the Daily Show host. No, he starts a podcast. He starts a podcast, and instead of Joe Rogan, it is Jon Stewart, and it is just a mess. He's 3 hours of nothing but messy conspiracy talk. That's what would happen with. Oh God, I don't want to live in that universe. That's a bad universe.
What I say his character name was something Kevin Garrity.
Yeah.
It's
Kevin
the
Garrity
show with Kevin Garrity. Yeah, it's the Kevin Garrity show. Tonight we're going to talk about our favorite Hooters waitresses, on the calendar this year. And let me tell you, I'm really excited about this. Woo! I don't know.
Hooters is nothing but a left-wing conspiracy to make everyone love the color orange and white and blue shorts. They're just trying to make everything the rainbow. At Hooters?
I can't do it.
Have you seen Hooters now? They're allowing guys at Hooters.
We always have that thought and that joke. I still to this day have never seen a male like waiter at Hooters. I still think they're stuck to the kitchen. Technically it's a form of sexism, and I know everyone makes the commentary, the joke, but at the same time, it's like I don't think anyone actually is upset by that.
No, I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
I wouldn't care. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't care because I'm not going to get tipped the same.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like a guy being a waiter at Hooters is not going to get tipped the same and has a girl as with a waiter at Hooters. It's not going to be the same. So why would I really? I'm not going to make the money. Like it's not going to it doesn't do any positive for me to do that.
No,
make that make sense. We'll make that make sense one day. Being male waitresses at Hooters, and we'll break that down and see if that's actually a good idea. It's been a good idea to hang out here on Zaboys Media. I am Positive C. That is Thorny over there. The Brain Box. This is Make It Make Sense. If you want to come back next week and hang out with us and plenty of other weeks, we will be here on Zaboys Media on Spotify, probably iTunes, and all sorts of places. You can find us and other fun things we have done on the Locals with a Z connection. That's a Locals with a Z connection on Spotify, and on YouTube is Zaboys Media. You'll be able to find all sorts of fun stuff we've done forever, and maybe one day some TV stuff. It's coming, maybe. Oh, maybe. But again, I'm Positive C. That's Jim the Brain Box Tortoise. We'll see you guys next time. Monowea, and stay gold, Pony Boy.
Thank you for listening to Make It Make Sense, a Zaboys podcast. If you like what you're hearing, follow along with us and, add us to your little list or whatever on Spotify or wherever you're listening. If you'd like to hear some of our previous stuff, you can always check us out on YouTube at Zaboys Media Network for some of our past work, or by searching on Spotify for The Locals Connection with a Z. That's The Locals Connection. Thank you again for listening. Monowea and stay gold, Pony Boy.